Hello, everybody. Shall be able to talk now.
Hey!
Alrighty, the wait is over. We're getting ready to get into this tonight, aren't we? I know I'm excited. Y'all are excited too, right?
Oh yes, very excited.
I will point out to the audience that our Titus, he just relocated, so he's still working on all that fun things that happens after you move. So he's going to be a disembodied voice. No, he's not playing a poltergeist. He is actually here.
Not today.
We'll probably see him a little later. And since we're on this board, before we get too much into it, because we have some new players who may have watched us before, or maybe just joining us. We have some new people in the chat and following the channel. You see, there's two little bars down here. One of them is for Extra Life. We had a 24-hour stream recently and did an amazing job raising money for Extra Life to help sick kids. I'd like to keep that train growing and going. So we now have a goal of 2,000. We do have a couple of milestones, and I hate to say it, if you hit those milestones with this crew, they're going to get those benefits. They may be way under level for them, but it'll be huge effect for them for those benefits. Our next goal would be Bardic Inspiration, I believe, at 7th level, which will be a D10 if they need it. And then, of course, some more magical items and whatnot. So go to Extra Life, donate for the kids, because it's for the kids.
For the kids.
Additionally, we see that little green bar down there that says 1,000. That is the HP. That is the HP bar. That you can, every time you cheer, subscribe, follow, host, all of that, you earn points that knocks down that HP bar. Every time you knock down the HP bar, I get to do something to the party. So for the kids to help the party, the HP bar will help the dungeon master, and if I'm particularly generous, I will roll that over to helping the party. So it depends on the situation and how much helpful we want to be. So just throwing it out there. Oh, and every time it gets knocked down, the value goes up. So let's get to those epic levels. We had some really great epic things. So, all right. That being said, let me turn this over and introduce my wonderful and lovely cast for this season of Challenge Accepted. We're going to start and kind of work back to me. So we're going to start with Tarvos. Tarvos, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your character and what was the last major thing he or she was doing.
The last major thing. Okay. Tavros was is a very large minotaur. He's a big, huge guy. He has a very deep, low voice like this, and he sounds a little bit like a bull. Anyways, the last thing he remembers doing was he was in a very large battle. He's part of the Akroan army, and he's kind of like the cleanup crew who gets into saves the army when they can't handle it, and so. He was what was called the last man standing in a battle, and then after the fight he fell over, and I assume he got picked up and taken to where he is now. I'm not 100% sure what happened to him, to be honest.
Yeah, the last thing Tarvos remembers is he managed to survive the battle and then lost consciousness due to his injuries, and he was loaded up on a cart, and while traveling on that cart he kind of lost consciousness, so he's not sure what's going on just yet, but stand by. We'll pick up on that in a few minutes. Next up, how do you pronounce this one, Andy? Yuva or Yuvia?
Yuvia?
Oh, okay. Tell us about Yuvia and what was the last thing he or she was doing before they.
So Yuvia is a wood elf cleric, and the last major thing she's doing is that she decided to leave the ruins she's been guarding for like for her entire life. Like she's been trained for that since she was a kid, she was a child. So yeah, now she's trying to see the world by her own eyes.
All right. So we know that she has left the ruin she was guarding and has kind of wandered into the wilderness. And as it's been a few days since she's left the ruins, and she's kind of just navigating the roads as best she can in the region. And we'll find out what happens to her in a few minutes. So next up, Pearl. What? Tell us about Pearl and what is the last thing she was doing? Pearl, I think you're on mute, sweetie.
I said that Pearl's actually looking for her sister.
Okay.
She ran off with her bard friend to join the Vistani. And I'm very worried about her because I know a little bit about Vistani and where they live and that it's dangerous. So I'm going after her.
Well, who is Pearl and what race is Pearl and where has Pearl been for her life up until this point?
Well, Pearl is a tabaxi. She's kind of like a lionish looking tabaxi, and she's a monk. She's been training in a monastery for quite a while. And kind of lost track of time, and when she came back to visit her family, her sisters are already gone and found out about this, so see what happens.
All right. So last week, so she went searching for her sisters. As she was attempting to leave the monastery, because most of the times this monastery they don't let you leave once you join. She managed to take a daring escape through a portal into the Shadowfell. So now Pearl is wandering the Shadowfell, looking for a way back to the Prime Material Plane or to continue her investigation. We will find out what happens to her in a little bit. But next to last, we have Carriger. What is your character, and what is the last thing Carriger was up to? Am I pronouncing that right?
Carriger.
Carriger. Okay.
Carriger, yes. She is a pirate. She has spent most of her life on the seas, trying to make a name for herself. She is a tiefling, so she has teal hair, violet eyes. She's kind of hard to miss on the ship, and she's really good with maps and navigation. And so the last thing she was doing is she was ashore gathering some new maps for a quest, and her entire ship and captain and everyone was killed. So she is now off to seek revenge and see if she can find who, because they're her family. So kind of like looking for a lost sister. She's got a little bit of a score to settle with someone. She doesn't know who.
What region is she from? Is she from any place like the Sword Coast or Port Damali or somewhere on the Menagerie Coast? Where has she been? I didn't have a chance to ask you this earlier, so I'm just kind of throwing it out there.
I literally just made this up on the spot. So that is a good question as to where she's from. So
well, tell you what, we had that HP bar get knocked down for the first time, so we're gonna say you are from the Menagerie Coast, a wonderful little place called Port Damali. And that is where you are beginning your investigation.
okay.
Alrighty. And last and certainly not least, our disembodied voice from afar, Titus. Who is Titus, and what is the last thing Titus was doing?
So Titus is a human paladin. He is from the woodland area outside or west of the Valaki Valley, outside of Barovia, and he has spent most of his adult life working there with his father, tending to the land, and has seen both his father and his mother killed by the dark forces in the area. And the last things that he was doing was fighting off some invaders that had set a trap for him and the villagers. It didn't go so well.
So he's been pursuing them into the Slavic woods. Pick up on that in just a few moments. So And of course, I am Steve, or Scuba, as depending on what the internet likes to call me each week. I'll be your humble and wonderful dungeon master for tonight. So that with those wonderful intros, we'll kind of get into it, and we're going to start with Titus. Titus, as you've been progressing through the woods, you had the attack you mentioned on the villagers, and you were going to pursue them. You pursued them deep. You pursued them deep into the Slavic wood. As you were traveling through those woods, give me a perception check.
Okay. Perception. It's a 15.
Alrighty. As you are looking through those woods, you're noticing you're losing sight of the trail of where they went, but you do notice about 60 or 80 yards from your position, there's a structure. Appears to be a simple two-story dwelling, kind of tucked away here in the woods. There appears to be light inside through the windows, and you feel like kind of a compulsion to go and investigate.
Okay. Before I go to the gate, I would like to use Divine Sense
Okay.
to see if there's any fiends or undead within 60 feet.
From your current standpoint, no, you're not detecting any within 60 feet. As the divine sense stays in effect as you get closer to the house, you're not detecting any undead or fiends coming from the dwelling.
Okay, then I will approach with caution.
All right. As you come up to the door, again very simple, nondescript, but it's kind of out of place, and part of you thinks it seems a bit odd that this structure is here. You've grown up in this valley. You've been through these woods. You've never seen this structure here before. But as you go to knock on the door opens, and a gentleman is standing there in a suit, and he says, I've been expecting you. Please come in."
You've been expecting me.
Yes, we have much to do.
I don't even know who you are. Who are you?
Don't worry. It will be explained. It will be explained in time. But we have a very busy schedule and others to pick up. So please, come in.
Let's see. 18 insight.
He is completely genuine in what he is saying. He has been expecting you, and that there is much to do and others to pick up.
Okay, I will go in.
All right, and that is where we will leave you for a few moments. Now, we will travel over to Pearl. Pearl, as this monastery, you've spent the better part of a decade in learning and studying these masters. You notice that with this monastery, there's a connection to the Shadowfell, and you use that as your escape. So you've been traveling through the Shadowfell for several days now, and as much as your studies have led to describe the Shadowfell, which is a very dark and negative and dangerous place, you realize the books were probably being nice about the actual quality of the Shadowfell. This place is pretty nasty. You see large nightmarish creatures walking in the distance. You hear the rustling of things in the woods, and you're constantly on guard, and you're nervous, and because of your training, you've been managing to kind of hold off the effects of the Shadowfell on you, but it is starting to wear at you. You're starting to feel that oppressive depression that comes with being in the Shadowfell. One night, as you are looking for a safe place that you can stay, give me a perception check.
That'll be a nat 1, so it's 8.
All right, you are stressed, you are frazzled, you are desperate to find some place to stay. And as you looking and looking, and you look for a place that part of you says, better judgment says, don't stay here. As you turn a corner, you see a dwelling, a little simple, nondescript 2-story house, just sitting there. And the weird thing is it doesn't feel washed out in its colors compared to the rest of the Shadowfell, because normally the Shadowfell is kind of a big wash of grayscale. There's not a lot of color and bright. This one you can actually make out the browns of the timbers. It's a muted brown. It's not very vibrant, but there's, and then the stucco walls of the exterior, the thatch, the roofing. It seems like it has a little bit more depth of color than the surrounding area, and there are lights inside the windows. Did you mute yourself again, or are you just too far from the mic?
Alright, I guess. I said, can I look through the windows?
Yeah. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Got a 15.
Nice. As you come up to the windows, they look like kind of foggy, so you go to wipe on them and kind of peer in, and it looks like a very simple cottage. It looks like you might be actually looking in the what would be the dining or kitchen area. And then you hear the door open to your left.
I'm probably going to pull out my weapon just in case, because I've been in the shadow.
Considering where you are, that's not a bad practice.
Yeah.
So as you pull out your weapon and you're kind of sitting there, and as you come around the corner, you see a gentleman standing there in a suit. Said, you look like you need a meal. Or you should come in. This is no place to be out by yourself. You have to speak up because of your microphone.
Who are you? Who are you?
My name is not important right now. However, your assistance is actually needed, and it looks like I can provide some for you. Would you like to? You should come in. We have many things to do, and more people to meet. And he stands and he opens the kind of extends his arm to lead you in.
I'll go in, but I'm going to have my sword out at all times and just kind of keep my eye on him the whole way in.
That's fine. As you go in, the door closes, and we'll find out what you see in a few minutes. Alrighty, we're going to move over to Yulvia. I want to say.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Well, I have to learn this, so this is nothing on you. I need to broaden my speech, so to speak. So, all right, Yuvia, you have been, as we said, you have left the ruins that you have been guarding for your childhood. It's your family's mission to guard these ruins, and you finally was like, I'm fed up. So as you've been progressing, you've been trying to find some semblance of civilization, and because the outside area has been kind of unknown, because your whole world has been insulated by these. And as you're progressing through, you do happen to stumble across a small settlement, a nice little town. There's some houses and some shops, and go ahead and give me a perception check.
All right. 12.
Okay. The non-elf civilization is weird. So you're trying to find and see what might be a good place to maybe an inn or something. You're not really sure. And one particular building, kind of at the end of the row, seems to call out to you. You just have a sense that you should go check this out. And you go, and it's kind of a nondescript sign. You read it, and then you kind of forget about it. It doesn't really stick, but you feel compelled to step inside.
All right. Then, is there anyone I can see inside the building from where I will stand?
There's nobody standing outside, and as you go to look inside, it looks like it's a tavern of some type. Looks like there's a bar and some tables. You kind of hear some music, and it just seems to call to you to step inside.
Then I'll step inside and look around the
And as you go to open the door, there's a gentleman in a suit who stands there and is like, welcome. Please, come in. And he ushers you in and points you over to a seat. And that is where we will cut off for you and pick up. Sorry, I'm not telling you what's inside yet. You're going to have to wait.
Okay.
Alrighty. We'll go over to Tarvos. So, Tarvos, you gave it your all in battle. You did your duty, and then in all of these wounds and injuries, and you have been just passed out. And as you've been the rhythm of the wagon bouncing along the road has kind of lulled you into that sense of sleep and rest because your body is just so exhausted. Eventually, though, it stops, and you hear the horses kind of neigh and whatever, and you hear the sounds of people exiting off the wagon, and you can faintly hear a conversation going about. Go ahead and give me your perception.
Okay. Let's see. That is a +3. Second. 18, 19, 20, 21.
Nice. You hear you hear the two individuals who carried you off the battlefield and put you onto this wagon, and then you hear another voice. It's a very kind of proper speaking. It's weird. You're not quite familiar with the accent or the dialect. It's something you've never heard before, and it's a conversation about asking about how your condition is and are you fit for travel, and he's asking that please help him inside. We have a bed for him. Please help him inside.
Okay. Am I inside the wagon?
You're in the wagon, laying there.
Okay.
It's basically a kind of a covered wagon without the cover on it. You're such a big guy. Yeah, you're kind of in the wagon bed, taking up the majority of it. Your feet kind of dangle off just a little bit on the end there. I mean, Minotaurs are not small people.
No. No. All right, I'll stand up and.
So with some effort, with some effort, you kind of sit up. I mean, you've been thoroughly beaten to like an inch of your life. So this is as you get up, you kind of feel like, oh, I think I broke a rib there, or oh, I took a spear in the shoulder. Oh, that one in the leg, man, that's a doozy.
I hear women love scars.
So they say. I don't know. But as you kind of sit up, you see the two people in the cart, and you see a gentleman dressed in a suit. Standing
I'll go
outside
over and
the door
introduce myself.
He's standing outside the door of a nondescript 2-story house.
Okay. I'll go over and introduce myself.
Hello, are you the ones who saved me?
The two individuals standing to the side are like, yes, we routinely travel the battlefields to make sure the injured are taken to some type of healing facility. And then the guy in the suit's like, yes, these fine gentlemen happen to be passing by, and I waved them down. I believe your services would be very useful in an endeavor. Please, you should come in and rest and heal from your wounds.
It's the least I can do. Thank you very much.
All right. So he goes, and interesting thing for you is you go to step to the door. You instinctively see, because humans are small creatures compared to you, and you figure this dwelling it's human. So you figure you're gonna have to slouch down and kind of work your way through. But as you begin to do that, you notice the doorway is actually your size, and it lets you in.
This is convenient. All right.
And now we will go over to Carragher. Or see, another one I have to learn how to pronounce.
Carragher.
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 Carragher, you
Yes.
managed to survive the attack that wiped out your ship and crew, and have made it back on the Menagerie Coast. You're not sure where the attack came from, but you want to investigate what happens. But as you are on the Sword Coast, as you're on the Menagerie Coast, as you're in Port Damali, and all the hubbub of this nice tropical port, you search and you're trying to figure out where's the best place to start your investigation. Not quite sure if you should trust the Clovis Concord. You're not sure if you should trust the Reverie. So you're very questionable because this attack made no sense. It just happened.
No way.
But as you're searching through and looking for a tavern, you notice a tavern at the end of a row. And as you come up to it, the sign is very nondescript. You kind of read it, think about it, and then be like, doesn't really stay into your memory. And come up to the door, and what do you wish to do?
Doesn't look too busy, so might be a good place to stop in and have a beverage and see what kind of gossip I could pick up.
That's very true. It's very true. Very true. You feel an urge to step inside, and as you step inside, you see there really isn't much of anyone about. In fact, as you look through the window, and you thought there was a tavern, but as you step through the door, that's not what you found. That's not what any of you found. As each of you stepped into the door, you were immediately brought in to what appears to be this large marble floored foyer. The sheer size of this entryway totally does not fit the size of the structure you stepped into. And you almost want to turn around and step through the door and look back, but as you open the door, it leads to somewhere you've not seen before. And the gentleman in the suit is standing there at various times for each of you. For Tarvos, it was he summoned some servants, some wispy unseen servants to take you up to a room and help and get you settled. A couple days later, you feel yourself completely restored to full capability. Pearl, you come in and they lead you into the kitchen and sit there and culinary boutique of foods and everything to help you regain your strength and to be a little more comforting. Carragher, they bring you over and they offer you some beverages and stuff to eat as well. Yuvia, you've taken to a room to rest, and you're shown some books and maps of the area. Titus, you come in, and as you're also given some type of refreshment and shown to a room. And each of you hear, with the exception of Carriager, each of you hear the next one come in as you've been resting. Finally, after a couple of days, when Tarvos is fully healed and you all kind of congregate in the foyer, because there's these large staircases that lead up and rooms upon rooms from what you've seen inside this building. You're all in the entryway of this foyer, this large marble foyer of this structure. You're not quite sure, but you're all healed and well fed, well rested.
I asked the guy in the suit how he did it.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Gentleman in the suit is not standing there just at the moment. It is just the five of you. You see a minotaur, an elf, human, a tiefling, and for everybody, it's the same things, only you see a tabaxi, a cat-like creature. Y'all kind of in this circle staring at each other as you've come into the room come into the space from various directions.
Have I ever seen a minotaur before?
Give me a knowledge check.
Yeah, I was just curious if I've ever seen like a tiefling before or anything like
Yeah,
that. You know.
nature checks. That's what it is. Both of you give me nature checks.
So I'm
Oh
definitely
Lord, that's
staring
not
up.
good.
Oh yes, minotaurs are big creatures.
I'm like,
Ooh, natural 20 -1 to 19.
In your training, you've seen
Very nice.
tabaxis. You've seen them. They are vicious fighters, very deft at athletics and dexterity. These are like whereas you're more of a frontline, take the brunt of it.
Mhm.
They're ones that are typically pushed for more clandestine type of activities. They can scale walls. They can get around pretty quietly if they want to. For a majority.
Sure. Okay. I'm trying to remember what they're.
What'd you get,
What's-
Pearl?
I got a 3.
You look at him and you're like, "Are you sure you're not a cow?" I
My
mean,
mother was a cow. She was very nice.
I mean, you've in your time in the monastery.
Horns? Can I touch your horns?
Maybe another time. I don't know you very well yet.
That's gonna be murder on my voice. Oh god.
You picked the voice. You committed to it.
Yeah.
Just telling you. Which I'm sure we'll all understand if you decide to like cut that out
I
after
might
that. Once
change
you
it a little bit like this, but that's about it.
fair enough. Pearl, you did. There was some light reading on minotaurs, but not a whole lot. You haven't actually seen them come to the monastery. Typically, not your most common type of monk, but you're only. It's like what you've heard and actually seeing one in front of you is completely different. Yuvla?
Yuvia?
Yuvia. What's your reaction to this assortment of characters?
You just look around and like looking if it seems there's no threatening situation there, so she's like, hello? Do you know why we're here?
No, but isn't it exciting? Something new. I love things that are new.
I
New
was
things.
just looking for an ale and found myself here with you.
There is here, though.
I don't know. The door went somewhere else when I tried to leave, so I stayed.
No one really has an idea why we're here. That's weird.
Better than where I was.
Titus, what are your thoughts?
I am looking at these curious people and realizing that, I mean, I'm from Barovia. I know what I left when I entered this building, and I'm certain that I've not seen these people before. So I'm just curious. I'm just kind of timid. I'm not really looking to make introductions right now. And I'm just kind of listening as things develop to see what I can gain.
Sure. I mean, yep, it's definitely an interesting cast we've got in the room. But as you're all kind of sizing each other up and kind of seeing what's what, okay. As we're as you're sizing each other up, you hear a voice off to the side, and you look and see it's that individual. It's the gentleman in the suit. And now that you've had a good chance to look at him, he looks to be about middle age. He appears human. It's kind of it's a nice it's a nice suit. It's got tails on the jacket. It's got something like a tie on the neck. He's got a very well trimmed mustache. Is somewhat balding, and as he says, you've all met each other. Please step here. We have much to discuss. And he kind of ushers to a room that, a room that has a large table with seating for everybody and then some.
I don't know if you've really called this a meeting, but who are you?
I am. You can call me Pennyworth, and I maintain this house for the master, who's currently away on business. But there's a matter that is very important that I need to discuss with you.
Where is it that we are exactly?
We. That might take a while to explain. But please come in and sit down, and I will do my best to give you as best an answer as I can.
Can I try roll a check insight to see if he's
Sure.
being honest or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
or if I should be worried about him? 8 plus it's like 8 plus 1, 9.
As far as you can tell, he is not trying to deceive you. He's being very polite, very gracious. Almost, I guess, colloquially, he's acting like a butler or someone who maintains the dwelling.
Okay, cool.
Can you tell me how you made this house? I love that it's different.
I'm afraid I can't take credit for making the house. That would be the master's forte. He has quite the talent, and this is a very, very old dwelling.
How old?
Can I talk to him? I want to know.
He is out on business. I believe she is actually out in a mountainous region dealing with some nasty business concerning the Shadowfell. She hasn't returned yet.
Well, that is too bad.
Yes, but this is everybody give me a perception check.
19 for Titus.
Natural 20.
7. Yeah.
18. Pearl, what about you?
19.
19. Okay. Everybody except Tarvos.
These walls are very pretty.
Everybody but Tarvis. You guys, as you guys are sitting there and listening, you can almost feel a slight sway to the house.
Oh, I don't know. Come on.
Yeah, you have no idea. You're just oblivious.
Shiny.
The rest of you, you're sitting there as you're taking a moment because now you're fixating on the house. You haven't really been fixating on it yet, but as you're sitting there, you're feeling it kind of sway, like left, right, left, right, and now
Why is the house moving? It feels like it's moving.
it does that. It never stays in one place for very long. Please come sit. We're running out of time, and I need to prepare you as best I can for the journey ahead.
Well, if I must, I'll go ahead and sit down.
What do you mean it doesn't stop moving?
Why would you stay in one place for too long? I mean, that just seems ridiculous. There's so many things to see in the world.
I understand that. I'm just not used to ships moving, not buildings.
That and the collection that is stored here, you don't want it to sit in one place for very long. Very bad.
The treasures are precious. I understand that.
Depending on the beholder, yes. Please come.
I'll go over and sit down. As best
Is
I
there
can.
a new window?
Are the chairs big enough for me?
Yes, you actually notice there is a specific chair for your size. There's a
Sit down
chair
and
that is
crunch.
a comfortable size for each of you as you sit in there. And as you guys all take your seats, some of the servants come in and provide refreshments. And as you take a moment, the Pennyworth steps over and says, "All right, I'm glad you're all rested, and I will answer as many questions as I can. But first, I've called you all here because the mistress has deemed that you would be useful for a retrieval. There's an item that has surfaced, and we need it, and we need to get it out of whosever hands it is in and in a safe space."
Who is
Is it-
this?
Go for it.
Titus,
Who is this mistress?
the mistress of the house.
I derived as much as that. What is her name?
Her name is irrelevant right now.
Well, it seemed to be relevant to me as we were taking on a journey that we know who it is that is sending us.
She prefers to keep her name secret.
Have we been employed or are we kidnapped?
You are not kidnapped. You're free. You're free not to take this assignment. When we stop, you're free to go about your own way as soon as we stop.
I'm still looking for my sister. I need to find her. She may be in danger.
Is there coin to be made?
That's a good question.
Yes, there is coin to be made. If you completing the task, I will happily give each of you 2,000 gold right now, and then an additional 2,000 gold when you return. This item is very important, and it remaining in the place that it is not going to be good. It only surfaces every 13 years. It has just surfaced again. We time is of the essence.
So this is. Go ahead.
I don't really care about gold. But if you could get me to Barovia, then I will help you.
Funny you should mention that.
Really?
You actually, you have to go to the land. We need you to go to the land of Zeresh, to a city in Zeresh, to retrieve this item. Unfortunately, there's only one way to get to Zeresh now. And that is through Barovia.
I ever heard about Barovia before?
Give me a history check.
Net one. No.
Nope. You've led a very, very sheltered life.
Okay. New place. I like it. I want to see new places. So okay, I'm in.
Is there something we should call your master? She may not want to be known, but she have a nickname, perhaps.
She's sometimes referred to as the Emerald Lady.
That's fantastic. Thank you.
So from what you've told us so far, this is kind of a smash and grab situation. Is there a little more finesse? It's not a lot of time to plan.
It's a matter. I'm not sure, to be honest. This is an item. This is an item that has, like I said, only surfaced every 13 years, and it only surfaces for a few days and then it's gone. So time is of the essence, and if that is the method that you feel that is necessary, I leave it to your discretion on how to retrieve the item.
What is the item?
Unfortunately, I don't have much information to go on for that. From what my mistress had said when she told me to locate each of you, was that the item is very old and very dangerous, and given the state of affairs, it is something that should not be left out in the wild, as it were.
But we don't even know if you work for good or evil. Like, how can we trust you?
That's an excellent point.
Yes, I have a point.
I'll use divine sense.
Okay. What is you trying to discern with divine sense?
I am trying to. Well, it says I can detect good or evil, and anything affected by a hallow spell. I'm trying to get the sense that this butler guy is evil.
No.
Okay.
You're not getting the sense that he is evil in relation to what you've been taught as a paladin, as far as what defines good and evil, and that is the basis for when you use your divine sense. He does not come across as evil.
Okay. this guy that has brought us here, he seems to be of good intent. And I am familiar with Barovia, as I was raised in Britons outside of Barovia. And as to planning in Barovia, it does little good.
You're kind of cutting out a little bit, Titus.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Do you care to try that again?
Sure. So, I was saying that this guy that has brought us here, he seems to be of good intent. And with regard to Barovia, I am familiar and I'm from the area, and planning does look good.
All right. So just to recap for the sake of the audience, Titus was born and raised in Barovia. He was trained by a paladin who had come to be in Barovia up for many years, and has decided and has taken Titus on as his apprentice, passing on all of his knowledge and talent and equipment till his eventual death. So Titus can be a good guide. And Pennyworth actually points out the fact that, as to Pearl, is like, if you best traveling to Barovia, find a Barovian.
Look, we have that part accomplished at this point.
So my question for you, Pennyworth, is if you don't know what the item is, how are we supposed to find it?
From what my mistress has said, you'll have a good idea when you get to your location. The problem is as the times have gone, getting to Zarisha has become extremely difficult since the recent calamities in the Weave. Now, our best information, our best guess, is to get there through the Valley of Barovia. Unfortunately, the way may not be entirely clear, so that is where the investigation will have to start.
So we have to figure out what it is and then find it.
Have to figure out where you're going, and then what you're going to get.
And then what we're going to get, and then
Yes.
go. Okay, all right.
The first challenge is to get to Zaresh, get to this place.
So we know nothing at this point.
Barovia, that's where I want to go.
Sounds good. I mean, I'm ready.
Alrighty.
Let's do it.
Any more questions?
No, thank you. You've been extremely unhelpful.
Well, yes, Pearl.
Try to secretly touch his hands.
Say again?
I said, while we're doing all this talking, can I try to secretly touch his horns?
Give me a sleight of hand check.
Remember, he's 6.5 feet tall.
Sitting down. He's currently sitting down.
True. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Currently sitting down. So she's going. She happened to be sitting next to you. She's rolling the sleight of hand check.
Okay.
Tarvos, go ahead and give me a perception check.
12.
I roll a... Ooh. With perception, so 21. 21.
All right. So as you're sitting there, Pearl sits there, tries to reach over ever so slightly, just one little finger extended to touch it, and you kind of see her out of the corner of your eye. What do you do to react? Do you let her touch, or do you let her know that you see her coming?
Okay, you go. I'll wait until she gets about that close, and then I'll go, what are you doing?
I'm I'm
to kind of
going like
blame
this
her.
on the other side of the table.
May I help
my
you?
horns.
It's fair,
Actually, I
it's fair.
thought about that too. That you had horns too.
I know. That's why I'm like, over there. Personal bubble.
You're not gonna like me very much then.
Yeah, I'll let her. Yeah, I'll let her touch it. That's fine.
Okay. So you kind of turn, and then you can touch the horn.
Yay! And I touched the very tip of it to see if it's pointy.
It is.
That's all about. Thank you.
I mean, she's a tabaxi. She's
Yeah,
curious.
no, that's cool.
I mean, it makes sense.
We'll leave that obvious pun alone. The chat can
Yeah,
make the pun.
yeah.
We're not going to.
You lost me.
It's okay.
Alright.
Don't worry.
We will make sure you don't get killed.
See, the chat does not disappoint. Love the chat. Alrighty. As you guys are having this conversation, at some point you feel the motion in the house stop. It sort of settles, and Pennyworth looks about and says, time to begin. Is there any other preparations you need before you start on this investigation?
That's what I'm going to ask. What kind of help do you provide us for this journey?
We have fully stocked provisions for as far as basic provisions that you need. Unfortunately, I can't provide you anything too fancy in terms of weapons. However, I can provide you something to help you once you figure out how to get to Zarish. And as he says that, he waves he kind of does a motion with his fingers, and one of the servants comes over with a box.
Box.
Oh.
Inside the box is a kind of an amulet. It's a silver amulet, silver or platinum. It's fairly nice. It's got a large emerald in the centerpiece, and on the back is a word. He pulls it out and he hands it over to someone in the group. It says, "When you figured out how to get to Zadesh, use the command. Use this, and it will help you navigate through the mist."
How do we use it?
He lets you know that essentially this item is endued with a spell. Really? All right. It's endowed with a spell called for finding the path. Basically, the spell will allow you to, as long as you speak a specific destination you wish to go. When you cast it, it will guide you to that destination in the most efficient manner possible. Yep, find the path. So, but you have to know where you're going. A general location is not going to work. You have to be very specific on where you're going.
Okay.
Zaresh is a land, it's a region. You need to know a specific point within that region to go to. And then this will help you get through the mist.
Oh, I see. So, okay.
And
It's like a magic compass almost.
Yes. So essentially that's what it is.
Okay.
And as he says that, Titus, you take notice of the fact that a way through the mist, being someone who's of Barovia, you know that the mists that surround Barovia don't let anyone out. They let some people in, but there's very few instances where it lets anyone out.
And at that I would pose the question. I said, once we're in the mist, how do we get out?
As long as you follow this item, it will guide you through the mist.
so we can't lose this item. Very important.
Is the inscription on the amulet is in a language that I can read, being from
Yes.
Barovia?
Yes, it's in common. All of you can read it, and it's endued with the ability to cast a spell. It can only be used once per day.
Okay.
So you have to use it. You have to be very specific, and as he's explained, you have to be very specific with the location that you ask it to take you to.
So how do we find out what location to use? Like, how do we find this information?
I would say you probably would need to search and find someone who is familiar with Zeresh. So the Barovians don't necessarily die; they tend to reincarnate themselves. You're gonna need to find someone old enough to remember Zeresh and how to get to Zeresh.
Ready when everyone else is. I would like to find my sister.
There's nothing I need to do.
I have everything with me, so
Do you have any silvered weapons that we could take?
That is a very smart idea.
Kind of hesitant to say anything. Go ahead and give me a persuasion.
Persuasion is 13.
He says he doesn't have much he can offer because there's some things in the collection that need to be out, but he does have some basic silver daggers. He's willing to give each of you one of those in case, as a last resort. He apologizes he can't give you anything better, but you could all take a silvered dagger.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's all right.
I believe that is all that I need.
I'm sorry, say that again, Titus.
I believe that is all that I need.
Okay. If there's nothing else, then you guys are ready to start on your investigation. Any other questions that need to ask?
Where are we being dumped out at?
As you've finished your preparations, you've gathered all of your equipment. As he goes to open the door, you open the door and you are faced with a clearing. And from what you can see in the distance, it looks like a small village. Titus, you recognize this village as the village of Barovia, roughly a half a mile from where you're being let out. As you all step outside and kind of take in your surroundings, for the four of you who've never been to Barovia before, we will discuss that after we take a break, because it's been about an hour. So we're going to take a quick break. I just realized, if I start this, I'm not going to stop. So we're going to do a break. So
well played. Well played.
Yes.
Well played.
I have a lot of inspiration for when is the right moment and when is the All right, we got to play us back. Catch us up. Here we go. Ooh, getting there. Got to keep it going. Alrighty, with that, for those of you who are not familiar with this wonderful region that you're in, you look about as rolling thunder clouds across the land. It's very kind of dark. Pearl, this isn't as dark and desolate as the Shadowfell, but this might be like a summer home compared to the Shadowfell. There isn't a whole lot of sunlight. There are a lot of conifer trees. You see along the hills and the mountains, snow caps. It's actually kind of if there was a little more light, it might be a nice place. But one of the things you notice is as you look about the tree line, there's a dense mist, a fog that kind of is saturating through the tree line. The first few feet into the tree line, it doesn't appear that bad. But as you try to peer deeper into the tree line, all you see is this mist, and you kind of trace it around. It's all you see in the surrounding area. The area you're in, you see the house is sitting here. It doesn't, as you kind of look at it, it looks like it was built there, but you felt it moving. And then as you turn about and look to the village, you see it's kind of an open, you see a road that kind of winds its way toward there. There is in the distance behind you a set of gates that are probably another quarter mile behind you along the path. And Titus, you look about and you're like, oh, yes, we're just south of Barovia. And you look about, yep, those are the gates into the region. So.
He does.
You're on
I
mute,
wanna-
Titus. There you go.
Sorry. I want
No,
to
it's
take
good.
a moment before we venture into the mist and just make introductions and find out a little bit more about all of you guys. Again, my name is Titus, and I'm from this region and am familiar with many of its dangers. And just want us to be prepared as we are going into this.
I see. Titus, you said before that you're from Barovia, right? Maybe if you know somewhere that we could sit and maybe some drinks to get a more comfy place than in the middle of the road.
There's really not much comfort to be had in Barovia. There are places that you could find that might offer some basic beverages, but that's about it.
Well, that's fine. Rather than standing here, I guess. Well, if you guys rather here, and I won't complain.
No, someplace to sit and have a drink sounds like a nice thing to me.
I would agree. That gives us a chance to learn about each other, as Titus suggested. Carragher, by the way, nice to meet everyone.
My name is Tavros the Other.
The other what?
The Other Tavros.
There's another one?
Oh,
you have a-
yes.
Do you have a
Not as
twin?
nice as me, though.
Oh, you're the good one.
Yes.
Okay.
He was very evil. Not a very nice man at all.
What did you do to him? Where is he?
Well, I had to escape him. I had to join the Akroan army, which is a very difficult thing to do if you're a Minotaur. They're not very trusted in Akroa. They think we're bloodthirsty animals. Some of us are, but some of us are not.
You let me touch your horns. You don't seem very bloodthirsty to me.
You haven't seen me in battle.
True. We all change when we start to fight, I think.
Yes, I would agree with that. Titus, what would you think? Is there a place nearby that we could take a seat that is safe?
I think we could look about as we go towards Barovia. I don't recall of anything right near the road here.
No, the closest tavern, Titus, that you are familiar with would be the Blood on the Vine in the village of Barovia.
Okay. So we would have to venture into Barovia to find such a place.
Technically, you are in, because as you look about, you realize
the
you are on
village.
the inside of those gates.
Okay.
The gates are about a quarter mile behind you, and the village is about a quarter mile in front of you.
Okay.
By the way.
then go ahead.
No, you're fine.
I was going to say, then let's head toward the village and keep a watchful eye on the tree line as we go. There are
What should we
many
be-
treacheries.
What should we be on the lookout for?
Wolves, ravens, anything that moves can kill you.
Okay.
I would like to see it try.
Now I know why they send us here. It's not a place I have imagined in my head before, but okay.
Yilva, give me a nature check.
Nature. Nate.
An 8. All right. Being a wood elf and the ruins you were guarding, those around a very, actually a fairly decent, well-established forest, which and you're used to things being a lot lighter, a lot brighter, more birds, more songbirds, and whatnot. Here, no, this place feels sick. It just feels sick. You don't hear songbirds per se. You hear crows and ravens more often than not. Something about this land is not that feels like there's something wrong here. Not quite sure what. It's definitely not a very friendly.
So I take my bow off my back and just kind of have it down at my side. Not necessarily knocked or anything, but just to be aware.
Okay. Are you progressing toward the village?
I vote yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
All right. As you guys start to walk after a few minutes, go ahead and give me perception checks.
Ooh, not 20.
Oh, that's not good.
18.
3.
All right.
13.
Nope. Sorry. 4. 4.
4. We got a 4. Titus, you said you had a 13.
Yes.
Yilva, what did you get?
Not 20.
Nat 20. Pearl?
22.
22.
Ooh.
Carragher?
18.
18. All right. As Titus and Tarvos are kind of leading their way toward the village, you three in the back kind of look about, and you notice that the house is gone. And as you kind of look, you can almost see it walking on a pair of bird avian type legs as it just kind of walks into the woods, and the mist kind of surrounds it, and it's gone.
Guys,
Guys-
look.
See that?
Did you see that?
Oh, I didn't see anything at all. What happened?
That is very intriguing.
I'm standing next to Pearl. I'm like, you saw that, right? Right? You okay?
Saw
Just
what? What happened?
The house walked away.
What do you mean walked away?
Like it had legs.
Little legs.
What kind of legs? Chicken legs?
So what kind of creature?
Sorry.
Could be fowl of some sort. I eat mostly fish, so.
Thank you for the gifted sub. Thank you for all the bits and the cheers. We were up to 1371, 1700 on the HP bar.
Cow.
Guess we know what that means.
Oh God.
Oh.
I knock my arrow now. At this point, I knock it. My arrow is knocked.
Oh yeah, you guys asked for it. The chat asked for it. The chat's gonna get it.
We're only level 1.
Yeah, right.
Be gentle.
First night in Barovia.
The birds are gonna get us. It's gonna be.
Yeah, yeah. Right.
Well, just a normal day in Barovia.
Yeah.
Normally in Trophy, yep. Oh man.
I want to put a poll to the chat. Okay, that's a very interesting idea. Unfortunately, I can't really set one up that quickly. However,
Aw.
I'll do for next
Bad.
week.
yeah, I'll probably do that for next week. But you know what? I think we're gonna do this. As you guys, hey, I can do it. I can do it.
We can
I
do
can-
it, guys. I believe in us.
I don't even know what the suggestion was. Trying to watch the chat. I'm not that fast.
I think we're gonna go with a tried and true and a classic here. As you guys are starting your progression, and you're standing there talking about this house that seems to have vanished. You're hearing
Walk to it.
some howling coming from behind you to the southwest. And as you're kind of sitting there, you're hearing the howling in the distance, and you see a pack of wolves dart out from the tree line and make their way towards you. These are very large wolves, and two of them are come over to kind of lead the charge, and they're larger than the rest, and they come up and start to make a beeline to you, and gonna need to roll initiative.
Hey,
I'll post it
Cleric,
in the.
do you have talking? Can you speak with animals by any chance?
So I have a 5.
Yeah, 4.
18.
All right, so we have. You guys posting it in the chat. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
post
call.
it in the
Yeah,
in
it
the
just
Zoom
makes it
chat.
easier that way. It's
Alrighty, let's see. So Tarvos with an 18.
Bad rolls. A lot of.
hey, get him out of the way right away.
I guess it's not an attack. So that's
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly my point. Get him out of the way right away.
And then we have Pearl. Alrighty, so I got a pair. Basically, we have three. We have two. I said we have two large wolves that come at you, and Titus, you look at them, and you're used to seeing these kinds of packs. So this looks like a small hunting pack of both dire and regular wolves. So the two dire wolves lead it, with an additional 3 regular wolves taking up the rear.
Okay.
So the two dire wolves are rushing towards you. They're, like I said, they're coming from the southwest. Tarvos, you are the furthest away because the rest of the group is in between you and those wolves, and you are the first in the initiative order. What do you wish to do?
You said I'm farthest away?
Yes.
I would like to charge at them and use Goring Rush. Are they at least 20 feet away?
Yeah, they're about 20 feet and closing.
Okay. I'm going to take the dash action on my turn and then use Goring Rush. It says immediately after I use the dash action on my turn and move at least 20 feet, I can make 1 melee attack with my horns as a bonus action.
Alrighty, go for it.
I'd like to do that if I can. Horns, so let's see here. 21 to hit. I certainly hope it does.
Yep, 21 will hit. Roll damage.
So 1d6 plus 3.
So 2 plus 3, 5 damage.
Alrighty. That effectively stops the dire wolves to stop and focus on you. You now have 2 of them right on you.
That's fine.
Okay. The first one back. Oh.
Okay.
All right. Does a 19 hit?
It just hits, yes.
Alrighty, 19 hit. That will be 10 points of piercing damage as the opposite wolf kind of comes in and clamps down on your arm and just starts to grip it and start tearing into your forearm.
My goodness.
The other one, the one you gored as he kind of comes around. That was a 19 on the die plus 24 to hit. He's going to come around and clamp down on your leg for an additional 10 points of piercing.
All right, and that puts me down.
Alrighty. Tarvis is on the ground.
Wow, Barovia sucks.
Did you think this was Disney? Did you think this was Disneyland?
I did not expect it to be that.
This is not the right kind of Magic Kingdom here.
That is a good point.
And I'm sure at some point Titus is going. All right, so that is their turn. Pearl, you are up. You see this. You see the huge Minotaur kind of run down, charge in there, and as he kind of comes up and gores one of them, turns around, gets bit in the arm and then bit in the leg, and then he comes down, and the wolves just are still sitting there shaking their muzzles as they got this grip.
Kind of don't want to go fight him now, but because I mean the big guy went down. But go ahead and fight him. I'm gonna run up to the one of the ones that's attacking him and attack with my quarterstaff, double-handed.
Okay.
As a monk, you can do that and the bonus unarmed strike still, right?
Yes, if it says you can do that, yeah, go for it. Come down with the bow staff and then come around with a kick or a hit, a punch or whatever flair. Because as a monk, your whole body is a weapon.
Yes. 16 to hit.
16 will hit. Roll damage.
11 damage for that, and then I'll do the unarmed strike. I'll
which is very important. Which wolf will you attack? The one that's gripped on the forearm or the one that's gripped on the leg? One that's gripped on the leg is the one he rammed with the horns, so it's kind of bleeding a little.
That one first, yeah. That would probably be the better one to do first.
Alrighty, so that's 11 points for that one. Good to go.
And then I'll swing around and kick with my unarmed strike.
All right, roll for attack.
That's 14 to hit.
14 will hit. Roll damage.
4 damage.
4.
Mm-hmm.
All right. One is starting to get really hurt. You seem to have definitely dealt it some damage. All right. Next up is Yuvia.
Okay, so how far from the towers?
You are probably about 10 to 15 feet from Tavros. Your movement would bring you up to them and the wolves.
Okay, so I'll just stay where I stand, and Ilvia will grab her amulet and start praying, and she casts healing words on Tavros.
Alrighty.
Cool.
And since I'm a nice guy, because of the fact that the HP bar has been knocked down and raised up, we're now past 2,500 HP. I will grant this as a max possible hit points for the healing word.
Cool,
so
thank you.
What is remind me again, what's the die for healing word you're supposed to roll?
1d4 plus 3.
So you get 7 points of healing. Tavros, you are awake and feel that wonderful sensation of being bit on your leg and your arm. However, the one on the leg doesn't feel as bad as it did a few moments ago. And as you look about, you see Pearl is standing there with her quarterstaff and engaged with the one that's attacking your leg. But we'll come back to you in a minute.
Yeah.
All right. That was your turn. Titus.
All right. I will run up to where Tavros and Pearl are at
Mm-hmm.
and attack the one that is latched onto his leg with my greatsword.
All righty.
And that's a 14 to hit.
14 will hit. Roll damage.
7 damage.
Alrighty, 7 damage. Okay, yep, this one is definitely feeling it. Alrighty, next up is Carragher.
Is Uvula, how do you say your name, dear elf?
Yeah.
Yuvia. Is she
Yuvia.
still next to me? Within 5
Yes.
feet?
She hasn't moved.
So I'm gonna use my sneak attack because she's within 5 feet of me. I'm going to use my torch.
It's 5 feet within the enemy, not within you. 5 feet of your target.
Oh,
That's okay, though. You have 2 companions within 5 feet of your target. So you can still get your sneak attack in.
okay. So I'm gonna do that. But that doesn't hold on. That doesn't make sense. I'm sure.
It's if you're attacking a creature with an ally within 5 feet, then you get your sneak attack.
Okay.
It is not an ally within 5 feet of you. It is an ally within 5 feet of your target.
Okay.
It's like, kind of like we're distracting while you attack, kind of.
Gotcha. Okay. Sorry. First time playing a rogue.
That's fine. We will. I guarantee you, you're asking a question. There is somebody in the chat or somebody who's going to watch this later who hasn't played a rogue yet, and is going to be curious on how to get that sneak attack. Because once you get to higher levels, that sneak attack is pretty awesome.
Wow.
So Tavros is definitely within 5 feet of the enemy I'm going to be shooting at because he's getting chewed on currently. So I'm going to use my sneak attack with my short bow.
Okay.
To hit the one that is on his. First of all, no one is in my line of sight. Like no one is in the way of the one that's on his arm.
No.
Okay.
No one's in your. You're not. You don't have to worry about it. You have line of sight on either one you want to hit.
Okay. Since the greatsword is everyone else has been much closer to the other one, I'm gonna go for the one that's on his arm.
Okay.
So. Would that be what am I rolling on that?
That would be a D20 with your damage or with your attack modifier. Typically, there should be something for your short bow, so it would be proficiency plus your dexterity modifier.
So 18.
That'll hit.
Plus, okay. So then that means 2d6.
2d6, yes. 1d6 for your sneak attack and 1d6 for your bow.
And then it's plus 3.
So 2d6 plus 3.
Plus 3 each. So 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
What'd you get on? So that's 2d6 plus 3, not plus 6.
Oh. 7.
7. Okay. I get where you're going. I just want to make sure, clarify. It's 2d6 plus the number. So yes, 7 points? And that was on the one attacking the arm.
Correct.
Alrighty. So brings us up to Tarvos. Tarvos, you are technically prone on the ground with these wolves gripping on your arm and your leg. The one on your leg is considerably weaker grip than the one on your arm. What do you wish to do, sir?
I guess I can't stand up, can I? Because they're more or less on me, are they? They're fairly large.
That would be a strength check if you want to stand up regardless of their grip on you. But you technically could try. You could attempt to stand up. They're not holding you prone per se, but given
Yeah.
your size and stature, it would be an opposing strength check, and you could stand.
Yeah, sure. Can I pull out my dagger and try to kind of stab one and then stand?
Yeah.
Just to kind of loosen the grip a little bit, make it a bit easier.
All right. Which one?
If that works, I don't know.
Which one do you wish to stab?
Which one has the tighter grip on me?
The one on your forearm.
Okay, I'm gonna try to stab that one. Yeah, in the neck, and just really kind of.
That works.
Bad dog.
All right. Go and roll for attack.
So let's see. Oh, come on. Does a 9-14 hit?
A 14 does hit. Roll damage.
All right. 1d4 plus 3. Is that right? What's a d4? Yeah, that's right. What am I doing here? 1d4. Ooh, 7 damage.
7 damage. Nice.
With
All
the
right.
silvered dagger.
Fortunately, silver. The fact that it's silver.
I'm
Doesn't
just
I know.
throwing it out there just
I
to
know.
make sure. You never know.
I know. Since you're probably unfamiliar with silver weapons, it's like you're thinking it works though. It's pointy, it's sharp, it's stabbing into the flank there, and you do feel the grip start to loosen just a little bit. And now, go ahead.
Can I use a bonus action to kind of use my shield to try to push one of the wolves off, or would that be considered an action?
That would probably be an action to do that.
Okay, cool.
So right now it's your movement, and I would advise, and so it's the matter of, do you still wish to try and stand, or are you going to wait till your next round?
No, I'll try and stand if I can. Yeah, sure.
All right. Real quick, go and give me a strength check.
Sure. Ooh, 17.
All right. You're able to stand up. As much as the wolves try to prevent you from standing, you do actually kind of muscle yourself up to a standing position.
Cool. Thank you.
Welcome. And now it's their turn. So they loosen their grip. And the one on your forearm, that is a 21 to hit.
Wow, really? Man alive.
So there would be, that is going to be 10 points of piercing, which I believe will put you down on the ground.
Again, yep.
Alrighty.
Man.
The other one, who is a little irritated that it got hit by 3 different people, is going to release his grip, turn, and see. Meeny, miny. Pearl. Yeah, that will be a 23 to hit.
Oh man, yeah,
These
that
wolves
is.
are rolling crazy tonight.
And that will be 10 points of piercing damage. Wow.
Down.
Say that again.
I'm down.
Alrighty. Well, that wolf kind of released his grip from Tarvos, turned around and snatched at you and grabbed you and just sunk in, and that you just fainted and you're just there. So now it's kind of sitting there, kind of moving in. Alrighty. Pearl, I need you to make a death save, sweetie. That will be a D10. Let me know if you get something better, if it's above or below 10.
That's a 7.
That will be a failed death saving throw.
Oh boy.
It's okay. It's okay.
I know.
Alrighty. Next up is I'm going to get this. Hopefully, Uvia. Thank you. Uvia, you're up.
So how bad the wolf injured already?
You have 2 party members that are currently unconscious.
Yeah, I know.
Wolf on each, and the rest of the pack kind of in the not too far away, kind of just waiting to see how this turns out.
That's my question: is where's the rest of the pack? That's what I want to know.
Waiting.
So how injured the wolf is?
Again?
How injured the wolf is? Is it
the wolf
bloody
that
already?
the wolf that attacked Pearl is probably has got several wounds and is kind of bleeding a bit. The one that is still kind of working his way through Tavros seems to be in better condition.
So I will yell to the body. Just let's get rid the wolf first before we take care of our fallen comrades. Then she will come to the one that attacking Pearl, and then she casts Grim Flame and attack with her short sword.
Okie dokie. Go and roll for attack.
Short KFB. Is 11 to hit?
Fortunately, 11 does not hit, but I will let you have advantage again because of how much the HP bar has been going down. I told you it would be a benefit and a and a curse. Today, it's a benefit. So,
17.
go ahead and
There
roll.
you
Go
go.
ahead and roll it again.
17.
That will work. 17 will hit. Roll your damage.
Yeah. So it's 9 piercing damage for the one I target, and then 3 fire damage to the one next to it.
Okay, so you stabbed the one and dealt 9 damage, and then the opposite one takes fire damage as well?
Yes, Grim Flame Bait.
And it takes how much fire damage?
3 fire damage.
3 fire damage. All right. That wolf is really weak now. It's just kind of lethargic. The one that's gripped onto Pearl, the one that's attacking, the one that's gripped onto Tarvos. He's definitely on fire. You've attracted his attention. Next up is Titus.
I will go to the one that is recently charred and swing at him with my greatsword.
Alrighty, go and roll for attack.
All right. That is a 19 to hit.
He will hit. Roll damage.
Ooh, 6 damage.
Alrighty. It's definitely bleeding from a few more wounds as you come down with those strikes. Carragher?
I am going to. Oops, not what I wanted to do. There it is. Sorry. I am going to pull out my rapier and attempt to stab the one that is on Pearl.
Alrighty.
So that is an 18 hit.
18 will hit.
All right. So 6 damage.
How do you want to do it? Okay. Since you are somewhat new to this, one of the great phrases in the D&D community right now is, "How do you want to do this?" And when you get to the killing strike, so how you tell me, you narrate to me how this wolf receives that strike.
So how is Pearl prone, and then the wolf is like on top of her biting, or how?
Pearl has fallen. The wolf is kind of was gripped onto the arm, and is kind of just racking its head back and forth on the arm. It hasn't moved into any of the other bits to start eating.
So is he facing me, or am I on the side of him?
You're on the side of him. He's gripped onto the his mouth and everything's gripped onto Pearl. So you're coming up on the flank.
Okay. So, isn't there something that we have to like be semi-family friendly when we?
Yes, be careful. You
Okay.
can't be all that descriptive, but you
Okay. Because I have like the okay. Give me a second. I gotta change it up a little bit then.
know, just a hair, just a hair.
So he's okay. So I'm gonna come up right behind him. It's a rapier as a fencer. I'm going to lunge and I am gonna stab him right through the rib cage, right through his heart, all the way up to the hilt, and that pushes him like all the way off of her.
Yep.
Stab him
As you
right through the heart, through the rib cage.
You come in and you do this move that you practiced, and it goes right through the rib cage, right through the heart. Actually, comes out the other side a little bit, and the wolf just kind of slumps. His jaw slacks. He releases and just kind of topples over. And now sit there and you just reverse your grip and pull the sword back out of the wolf. Which brings us up to Tarvos. Go ahead and give me a death saving roll, please.
Is that a D20?
20.
How about a 12?
12 will work. That is a success. All right.
Okay.
That one done. The other one is going to move around, and the one that was gripping onto your arm, Tarvos, has released his grip and is now going to attack Titus, because Titus is standing there and was the last one to deal a blow. So, Titus, that's a natural 20.
How do you want to do this?
Nice knowing you guys. It's been a great campaign. It's been
Yeah,
fantastic.
so
What the
wow.
dice says, not what I
Yeah.
No,
say.
yeah.
So that was 20 points of piercing damage as the wolf lunges up at you and sinks in on your shoulder.
Yeah, that's enough. I'm down.
Wow.
Yola, Yuvia, what are you going to do?
Wait a minute.
Kill the wolf. Get it. What do you got? Get the wolf.
Okay, then you'll be enraged as she saw that one of her party member down again, and she will do an attack. She will cast a booming blade with a sword.
Okay. And
What's
roll
the
for
wolf?
attack.
BB. So it's 11 to hit.
11. Doesn't hit, but go ahead and roll it again. Let you keep that advantage rolling here.
14 to hit,
14 will hit. Roll damage.
and it's 9 piercing damage.
Alrighty. All right,
And
it is
that's
severely weak, but it is still it's loosened its grip on Titus. So,
And as she strikes, there's a loud booming sound with she's swinging her sword, and the wolf will get this kind of aura that if it moves, it will get another damage.
so if it moves from its current position, it will take more damage.
Yes.
Alrighty. Brings us to Titus. Sorry, skipped over that. Titus, go ahead and give me a death saving roll.
You're on mute, Titus.
I heard 11. Is that what we
Yes.
heard?
Yes.
Alrighty. That is 11. That is a success. Pearl, I skipped yours. I need you to give me another death saving throw. I apologize.
Oh, that was close. That was a 2. No. That's so close to a 1. Oh my word.
That is is it a 2?
It's a 2.
That is a fail.
I know it is, but at least it wasn't a 1.
That's fair. That is fair. That is fair. This is a good thing. Alrighty.
Is it?
Such faith in me, guys. Such faith.
Yeah.
All right.
It's true.
Carragher.
Yes, Carragher. I am going to spin around and go after that last wolf with my rapier.
Okay.
I got that. I do not hit it. Got a 5.
Go ahead and roll it again.
15.
That will hit. Roll damage.
Okay. 7, 8, 9, 10.
How do you want to do it again?
All right. What positions are we in? Where is it at? Am I coming at it from the side again?
Yep, you're coming at it from the side again.
I'm gonna do the exact same thing. I'm gonna lunge across Tavris's body and stab it right in the heart. So I'm gonna step around you, buddy. Don't worry, I'm not gonna step on you. I'm going to step between the legs, and I'm gonna right through the heart, through the chest cavity.
Alrighty, and yeah, you come around and same move again, and the wolf topples over, and now you and Yuvia are standing over your 3 companions. You do know that inside your equipment, you do have.
I was gonna say, what do we got?
Each of you has.
I'm looking. Do I have any healing potions?
Funny you should say that. Each of you does have a healer's kit, but all of you each have 2 healing potions apiece. Basic healing potion. You can thank the chat for continuing to knock down that HP bar. We're now to...
Thank you.
Awesome.
So each of you has 2 healing potions, and each of you has a healer's kit. A healer's kit has 10 charges, and for each charge will automatically stabilize a downed character. And then after a little bit, they will come to consciousness. So I leave it up to you to use the healer's kit or to pop the cork and pour a healing potion down their throat.
Where is the
rest of the wolves have decided to turn and leave.
Yuvia, what do you think? I say we heal them and get them into the city as quickly as possible.
It will be just cast another healing word to Titus.
All right.
Okay. And then I will go to each of them, or as Yuvia is doing that, I will go ahead. I will go over to Pearl. I will pop the potion and pour that down her throat. I will then go over to Titus and do the same thing.
All right. Pearl and Titus, each of you get 10 points of healing for max healing value. Again, thank you to the chat. And you cast Healing Word, and your max is 7 on the Healing Word. So, Titus, you take 7 points of healing. All 3 of you come to consciousness and notice that you both have wounds from these wolves, but they're not as bad as you thought they were. They are healing a bit. And you see the bodies of 2 dead dire wolves around you as well.
Sorry, who healed me?
Carragher gave you a healing potion, so you feel.
Oh, I thought she gave it to Titus.
We each have each individual has 2 of them in their pack, right? Is what you're saying?
Yes.
So I took 1 from each of their packs, gave them their healing potions.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So yeah, each character we each get our own. So
yeah.
Sorry about
And Yuvia said was casting Healing Word on Titus, so that's why Titus got the 7.
Yeah, I heard
So-
Titus. I wasn't.
Oh, sorry.
Everyone is
No, that's
conscious.
okay.
Titus
No,
and
that's
Tavros,
okay.
the other team.
No, it's okay.
So
I just wanna
everybody
make
is
sure I
healing.
didn't- I-
Everybody is standing. You. Welcome to Barovia.
So, am I strong enough to?
Oh.
How big are the dire wolves' carcasses?
A a dire wolf. Not exactly a small creature.
Oh, they're
it's
huge.
considered a large beast, so it would be a dire wolf standing at its shoulder would be almost to Tarvis's thigh. Tarvis is most minotaurs, I believe, are pushing that 7 to 8 foot range. So if that kind of gives you an idea, if it's standing up would be almost as tall as you are as a medium sized creature at an average height of 5'6".
Okay. Can we do people eat wolves?
Yeah.
So
I
I'm just
wouldn't be
thinking.
against eating it.
I'm just thinking we take it with us. That way we can skin them, keep the pelts, use them to trade, and use the meat to trade with the villagers to get information.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
It's very smart.
Tavros, are you feeling good that if we can tie them together, we can help you carry them?
Oh, I can probably carry them. I'm a big guy. I can take one of them anyways.
Okay.
All right. So
Think.
we'll say for the sake of brevity, because it is already after 10 o'clock and we're almost to
Oh, wow.
our stopping point for the night.
Oh.
Yeah, it goes by quick. I'm not.
I mean,
It's you gotta love combat to get the combat to really get the blood flowing. You know.
I tell you what.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
There's something else.
you managed to use your rope and whatnot to tie the wolves together, and with Tarvos doing the bulk of the pulling, you're able to pull them into Barovia and make your way to the Blood on the Vine. And you go in and you speak with the tavern owner, and and give me persuasion checks. Who wants to do the negotiation? Let me ask that first.
Not me.
Not you. Okay.
Not
me.
me.
I have a +1. That's as close as I got.
Titus, how's your
Yeah,
I got 0 for persuasion.
I have a +4 on persuasion, so I could probably do it.
All right,
Yep,
who is going to
that's the one.
assist Titus in this?
I'll assist him.
Okay.
So stand next to him and.
Hold on.
Titus, go ahead and roll a persuasion check with advantage.
So that is a 22 persuasion.
Wow.
Well played.
Yes.
With that, you managed to persuade the innkeeper at the Blood on the Vine Tavern to allow you guys drinks and food, and all in exchange for the wolves and the pelts. So you guys get to eat and drink and rest for free, where you can discuss and see what you're going to do.
Can I keep one of the pelts because it's my first dire wolf kill?
Sure. I mean, you got high enough on there, you're fine. So it'll take him a little bit to do that, and that is where we will leave off, and we will pick up again next week inside the tavern, and for you guys to continue your investigation. So congratulations, everybody. That was
That was interesting.
That was eventful.
Thank you, chat.
yes.
Yes,
Be
thank you.
sure to thank the chat.
Wow.
Thank you.
I'm sitting here with my 19 armor class going, yeah, I'll be fine. Psh. The 2 hits down. Oh,
Oh my gosh.
okay.
Welcome to Barovia.
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
Alrighty. So thank you to the chat. Thank you to the cast. If you guys will hang out for a couple minutes, I'll shift over. Yeah. So bear with me just a moment, cast. I'll be right back to you. All right, so chat and everybody watching, thank you for hanging out with us for this session, first session in season 1 or season 2 of Challenge Accepted. We'll see what kind of fun shenanigans our adventurous party gets into in their investigation. Thank you for all of Carragher. Miss Beth will be with us on Scuba and the Rye on Tuesday to discuss what she does in relation to D&D, and that is going to be very interesting, I can assure you, because I had a great time hearing about it, and I can't wait to share it with all of you. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy all this wonderful time in COVID. Make sure you stay safe. Communicate with your loved ones and wear your masks out and all of those other wonderful things, because the sooner we can all band together and make sure we're all safe, the sooner we can put this to the curb and get back to business as usual, or the closest facsimile there is. With that, thank you again for watching. Have a great night, and we will see you on our next stream.
Bye.